1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, welcome. Deborah King Live. Delighted to be with you, and as you can see, you're joining me inside today in my living room. Come sit by the fire with us. Have some hot cocoa. We're going to have a really good time. It's raining cats and dogs outside. We're going to sing Happy Days. Let's do that.
Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, shout it loud. There's no one who can doubt it now. So let us tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Your cares and troubles are gone. There'll be no more from now on. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let us sing a song of cheer again. Oh, let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again.
Yeah. We're going to have a really good time today, you guys. So you can call into my red phone a little bit later in the show. Would love to help you. Call in with any question you have, any personal question. Health, wealth, relationship, whatever's on your mind. That number is 888-DEB-SHOW. If you're international, you can come to deborahking.com, Deb Show, and you can reach me that way if you're outside the U.S. And would love to help you today. I'd like to just have us all drop in for a minute and say a few words to connect us to guidance beyond this realm. So, on my behalf and yours, I call in all the guides, our ancestors, our animal guides, the ascended masters, the angels, and any divine guides that you like to work with. Let's ask them all to join us and keep us safe and keep us in a state of joy. And so it is. So I want to introduce the band. So we've got our... The little band. We've got Lois Mahalia here, holds the whole thing together, and has just been such an amazing, an amazing experience for us all. And over here we got Jack Lee, our music director. First time he's been inside we're going to really have a lot of fun today. And then over here we have none other than James. Oh my God, James Antunes on a little tiny drum. So, it's really funny. I wasn't ever going to move again. It was about 3 years ago, and Eric and I were camped nearby Ojai, and I was sitting there looking at houses on my phone, sort of typical. And I saw this house, and so we drove up to see it, and it was almost a tear down. It was a real fixer. And I walked in, and I saw this room, and I said to Eric, oh my God, my dream come true. I can finally have a quartet. And here we are 3 years later. A lot of work. It needed everything from the roof all the way to the basement. Okay, it took 3 years. So pretty excited about that. And this is the first time, as you know, that we've done music inside. So here we are. We have as long as we're here and I'm standing next to a grand piano, I thought, what better chance to do something on the piano. So we'll do that next. that was so beautiful. Thanks, you guys. What fun. What fun to play with you. All right, everybody. Let's talk about Yogananda. Okay. Ask yourself, I know you know that piece, that's Pachelbel Canon. Ask yourself, where were you the first time you ever heard it? I still remember where I was. I was in Nevada City in in an acupuncturist office on the table in the back room, I don't know, in the 80s or something, and I heard this piece and I got the needles, jumped up, ran out and said, quick, tell me what that piece is. Mm-hmm. So maybe you had it in your wedding, everybody knows the Pachelbel Canon, isn't it beautiful? Okay, Yogananda. What an interesting guy he is. What an interesting topic, right? He's the mystic. He's called the father of yoga. He was born in the late 1800s in India, and he died in the 50s in Los Angeles. He really actually came here and became a citizen. So today everybody knows him as the man who wrote Autobiography of a Yogi, the book that Steve Jobs read every year of his adult life. But more on that key fact in a moment. So Yogananda is one of those rare people who totally embraced his intuition. He knew from personal experience just how hard it is to honor the intuitive hits we all get. And, I'm sharing his story today and focusing on him because I want you to listen to your intuition. It's difficult, I know. So his story is a real blueprint we can follow. So his mother died when he was only 11 years old. Big change for him, big loss. And even at that age, his spiritual awareness was heightened, even in India, where everybody's spiritual awareness is pretty high. So his mother was instructed by a holy man before her death to give this particular son a sacred amulet that she had. And she told him to keep it close and that one day it would disappear when he didn't need it anymore. So a few years later, Yogananda began his search for a teacher, to enlighten him. This is very common in India, by the way. And he met all these sages and saints along the way. And finally, when he was 17, he's walking down the street, and he just knows it's this guy in front of him, this Swami Yurgastar. And guess what? The precious amulet, dematerializes and disappears that same day. So it had served its purpose. It was there to help him identify the guru that he was to follow. So Yurgaswar, he said of him that it was a rekindling of a sacred relationship that had existed many lifetimes. He trained under him for about 10 years, and Yurgaswar told him that he was meant to go to the West to spread the concept of yoga back in a time when it wasn't known. And, we're talking like the 30s and the 40s. And one day while he was meditating, Yogananda saw all these American faces, and he thought that was the signal. It was time for him to leave and go spread the word. So he comes across the Atlantic on a ship, and by 1925, he's crossed the whole country, and he ends up in Los Angeles, and he realizes that us West Coasters, we're open to stuff. So he was the first Indian teacher really to settle in the U.S., and the LA Times called him a superstar guru. Hollywood was totally ready for him. You can just imagine he attracted celebrities like bees to honey. His ability to talk about the human spirit, to talk about your own God force, he wasn't dogmatic. He was like a breath of fresh air. He was a spiritual prodigy. He was kind of a spiritual genius. He loved to tell his audience, God is in your spine. He was a very charismatic speaker, very popular. So the timing of his message was absolutely perfect. The world, if you think back then, it was poised on the edge of the atomic revolution, right? And so he spoke of beliefs in meditation and yoga and called them a science, and said if you had a sufficient meditative base, same thing I say, that you could do anything. So the West was just waking up then to spirituality from the East, from places like India. think about George Harrison. George Harrison, the Beatles, of course. He was becoming more and more disenchanted and disillusioned with money and fame and all that stuff. It doesn't crack up to be what you think it will. And he began seeking a deeper meaning in life. He teamed up with Ravi Shankar. You guys know who he is. He's the virtuoso sitar player. And ultimately, of course, this led to Yogananda. So as a member of the Beatles, the most popular pop band in history, right? In history thus far, George helped to propel an entire generation of the Western world into an awareness of Eastern spirituality. Deepak Chopra said that it happened overnight. He said it was just overnight. So George repeated the Christ consciousness language that Yogananda used. He urged his followers to find in themselves that same consciousness that Jesus exhibits, with compassion and equanimity and unlimitless love, right, for all humanity. So I'm sure it was Yogananda's embrace of Christianity and his teachings that made it was very palatable to Americans. Made him really popular. And then George comes along with his Here Comes the Sun album and his single My Sweet Lord, which, by the way, was inspired by a 200-year-old gospel classic. And if you think about the lyrics, he switches midway from singing Alleluia to Hare Krishna. And so in the lyrics, he's demonstrating that Christ and the Vedas are one and the same. It's brilliant. It's really brilliant. So the same energy. So people loved the songs, right? They validated their own personal search for God and just opened them up. So when George Harrison was invited to the White House to meet Gerald Ford, who was president at the time, he took him a copy of Yogananda's book. And he told the president it was his favorite gift to give people. Now, what's really interesting is the Beatles' 8th album, my personal fave, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I mean, I grew up on this stuff, right? I'm sure you did too. Has bits and pieces of India, all through it. As well as, if you study the cover, Yogananda's on the cover, as is his guru, as is his guru's guru. Wow, seriously. Isn't that outrageous? So Yogananda created a perfect storm for America's worst issues. Issues like, this is unfortunate, right? We still have the same issues today. We're still working on the same stuff. Media hype, religious intolerance, ethnic stereotyping, and blatant racism. I mean, like, what's new? Not much has changed, sadly. So it wasn't long before Yogananda was put on a government watch list. He was kept on, believe it or not, he was kept under surveillance by the FBI. Isn't that ludicrous? The government was also resonating with Great Britain at the time, who they were real worried about India, and the whole independence thing. So they focused on the fact that he was a person of color, that he was attracting a lot of married women to his messaging, which their husbands really resented him. He was becoming unpopular. Confidential file was kept on him. He was ahead of his time. He didn't really get it when he wasn't allowed to speak in Miami because of his color. Isn't that outrageous? He flaunted convention by performing a marriage between one of his Indian male students and a Caucasian woman. That caused all kinds of upset. Well, after some years, he decided to travel again, and he went to Europe. And when he was in Europe, he visited all the things that I've been to visit. He visited Assisi, that's the home of St. Francis, right? He went to the Athenian temple. He went to Socrates' prison cell. He went to Palestine, and everywhere Jesus ministered. And of course, he went to Cairo, right? He had to see the ancient pyramids up close and personal. So doesn't he sound like a fun guy? So he also met with some living saints that I have studied quite a bit, like Teresa Newman. She's not that long ago. She's the woman most recently who manifested the stigmata. I've always been quite fascinated by the stigmata. Those are the wounds of Christ that, occasionally will show on someone's hands or feet or heart. So finally he travels back to India, where his guru is dying. And they get in touch with him, and so he goes there. And the guru, I want you to know, died in the classic yogic tradition, sitting upright so that his consciousness could go out through his crown chakra. So that is amazing. It's a real tradition. And while he was in India, he also met with Mahatma Gandhi and the female saint, Andamoya Ma. Now, after his guru died, Yukteswar, he tells us he had a supernatural visitation from him where he could actually touch his body. That's pretty fascinating. That is, he was able to manifest the guru and skip planes, right? Skip planes. So he said that Yukteswar was guiding him from the astral plane, which is, 5 planes up. So that's really something. Let's take a break. We'll sing a song. All right. Sing along with us. We're going to do McNamara's Band, and the lyrics are right here on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in numbers, we're the finest in the land. I'm the conductor and we often have to play with all the best musicians that you hear about today. Oh, the drums go bang, the cymbals clang, the horns they blaze away. MacArthur humps the old bassoon while on the pipes to play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Yeah! Oh, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in numbers, we're the finest in the land. I'm the conductor and we often have to play with all the best musicians that you hear about today. Oh, the drums go bang, the cymbals clang, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy drums the old flute while on the pipes to play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band.
Nice job, Jack. Wasn't that fun?
Thank you.
So the way you get an invite here to be in the quartet in my living room is you sing and play an instrument. That's all that's required.
At the same time.
At the same time.
There you go.
A little something, which, by the way, is a lot harder than you would think it was. I tried it the other day to sing and play the piano. I was like, maybe next year.
Work up to
Deborah,
it.
you just did a wonderful job on that last piece.
Oh,
earlier in the
thank
show.
you. Thank you. You know, that's the first time I ever accompanied someone.
You did a marvelous job.
When I heard how loud the flute was, I was like, "Oh my God, how do I keep myself together?"
Well, I just think it's wonderful that you surround yourself with music and you've just jumped in.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
great job.
Isn't it fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? Talking about Yogananda. Okay, so again, we all have a dark side. He comes home from his travels, this big long trip, and the last place he was in was Mexico. He comes back and he's shocked to find that his best friend from childhood, a man that he had grown up with and shared his life with, and then brought over from India to help him here in this country, a guy named Yogananda, trusted the man like a brother. Well, Yogananda, while he was gone, had started a competing center down the street. I mean, really close to Yogananda Center in L.A. Yogananda had made him a swami like himself. He had treated him like his right-hand man. He left Yogananda in charge of the center while he was out of town on all these big, long, traipses around the world. And Yogananda finally got the message and opened his own center and attracted many of Yogananda's students there. The problem was Yogananda didn't have the personal magnetism. He wasn't charismatic like Yogananda. And ultimately, he abandoned being a competitor. He gave up. He threw off his monk robes. Get this. He dropped his Swami title. He gave it back. He married a Caucasian woman, moved to Michigan, no less, and became a very well-respected university professor for the rest of his life. And thus competed with Yogananda in another subtle way. He became the intellectual that Yogananda was not. He was really broken up about it. Now, it's important for us to acknowledge the truth about everything, including both sides of Yogananda. Yeah, he's a gifted Swami, and has mastered many of the techniques I'm trying to master. A good Swami who spends his whole life meditating, and especially in India where the vibrations already surrounding, can learn to do things like materialize a jewel in their hand or levitate. I mean, all kinds of things. But we still have flaws. They're still people. They're people. So in 1946, Yogananda kind of threw in the towel. He stopped traveling, sat down, and wrote his memoir. Wow. His autobiography of a yogi is one of the best books ever. It launched this entire spiritual revolution. It sold over 4 million copies, seriously. It's been translated into, I think, something like 45 languages, and is certainly one of the best spiritual books of the 20th century. Now, it's inspired many people, most famously, Steve Jobs. So Jobs first read the autobiography when he was a teenager. Later, he went to India, reread it when he got there. He didn't meet Yogananda in India, but he reread it there. Then he downloaded it onto the first version iPad that he created, and he faithfully reread the book every year till the day he died. Now, when Steve was planning his own funeral, he had news, right? He knew he was going to die. He asked that the autobiography be given as a parting gift to everyone who attended his memorial service. Just imagine being handed this little package. They were covered in brown wrapping paper. They're very simple-looking little packages. You go to your car, right, and you open it. You're really curious, and you find out it's autobiography of a yogi inside. What a message from Steve to you to trust your intuition above all else. Clearly, that's what Steve did. That's why he got where he got. If we could actualize ourselves from our own intuition to that extent, that's what this book's about. The message would be to look inside ourselves and realize what we find within. That's what it means to become self-realized, self-actualized. So Steve was a master of intuition. He really was. He could intuit what the world wanted. That's the most important thing I can teach you, really, is about your intuition. Above all else, it never lies to you. So Yogananda, using his yogic gifts, predicted his own death. He foretold it. He told his followers when it was time to leave, and that evening he died. He told his dinner companion, "Be just a few hours and I'll be gone." And he was invited as a speaker at this dinner, and then he just fell to the floor, and boom, he was gone. Thus, he achieved masamadhi himself, like his guru had, right? He made an intentional exit from the body, going up through the crown chakra. We should all have that kind of leave-taking. I want to tell you, it's a goal. So what are Yogananda's lessons for us seekers? Well, think of all the key teachings. First, that we can have direct personal experience of God, ourselves in our own bodies, of the divine, especially through daily meditation. Secondly, that even though we have personal flaws, so did he. The purpose of our human life is the evolution by using our own individual efforts to take our limited consciousness, our limited personality consciousness, and transcend it into God consciousness. And third, that we are evidence of the complete harmony of the oneness of, this was, I think, Yogananda's most important message, the oneness of the original teachings of Jesus, not as they've been morphed, over a couple thousand years, but the original teachings, and the original yogic teachings, which precede Hinduism, by the way. The work I teach, the Vedic work I teach, precedes Hinduism and is the original beliefs. This was a big deal for Yogananda. He found these two truths to share all things in common and to be the ultimate foundation for all truth. So I love one of the quotes I have from him. It's, "The Western day is nearing when the inner science of self-control will be found as necessary as our outward conquest of nature and everything around us." So this new age, Yogananda said, will see our minds broadened by the indisputable truth that matter is in reality just energy. So Yogananda's big teaching was intuition. And one of the questions I'm frequently asked is, should I trust my intuition? Students are always asking me that, and I'm like, always, yes, of course. Listen to your gut. And then I get doubt, disbelief, and sometimes, refusal, right? Because people are afraid to trust their intuition, or they don't like what they're hearing. And there's always a lot of fear involved. Trusting your intuition can feel an awful lot like insanity, right, to the uninitiated. So what is intuition? It's knowing something without knowing how you know it. That's it. Knowing something without knowing how you know it. That's what your intuition is, and it's part of your DNA. It's an aspect of your survival mechanism. It's especially if you had a troubled childhood like I did, your intuition has kept you alive this long. So, count on it. Don't turn it off. If you turn it off, it's like a muscle. It stops working. So you want to be listening all the time to, should I step into that relationship? Is that the right job for me? Is today the day to, go to the tryouts? Whatever it is, listen to your intuition. Go. This will take you beyond your five senses. And, a lot about what we get from schooling and our culture and our parents is to turn off our intuition. So we have to kind of make an effort to turn it back on. We have to honor it with trust. I love and respect science. I'm big on science. So I'd be the last person who would discount what science has discovered. But what science hasn't settled on is that there's things beyond our five senses that can't be measured. And that's what we're talking about here. We don't know what it is. Is it an extra sense? Is it genetic memory? Is it the shared Jungian vast unconscious? We don't know what it is. Does it come from the beyond? Is it in the Akashic records, which I've spoken on? Science can't tell us, but your intuition, it knows everything. And it's kept you alive and safe. All right, let's stop there and let's sing another song. We got one, I'm sure.
We do.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we've drifted apart? Does your memory stray to that bright sunny day when you kissed me and called me sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and cold? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? The chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare. Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? Oh, tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? Tonight.
fabulous.
Yo, James.
I think you really blew out all the stops.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, wow, that was fun. Gives me shivers to listen to that. All right, time for phone calls on my red phone. I see my puppy approaching. You guys haven't seen Teddy in a while, right? Isn't she a big dog now? I think maybe she's been inside all day because it's been raining. She might be a little bit too active for this. Oh, here she comes again. Oh, and I'd be reading her energy field instead of my caller's. I need to send her back, as cute as she is. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you? Hi. We got a caller? Hi, what's your name?
This is Stella.
Stella, hi, nice to meet you. What city are you in?
I'm in Toronto, Canada, Deborah.
Okay, how can I help you?
This is my third time calling you.
Okay.
And previous two times I never got through. Basically, back then I had the same question, but now there's a little bit development. So last year in September, I lost my mom. I'm very, very close to her. I've been your student actually since 2012 to study energy healing, life force energy for two levels. And I also recently started your medical intuitive course.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
A few, other. And so thank you so much. And it's been so inspiring learning from you. Although, the past 10 years is purely out of curiosity as I hold a corporate job. But last year after my mom transitioned, I was also taking care of her for a year and a half. And then I resigned from my corporate job. And this past year, because I went into depression. And this past year, I just keep feeling like I keep hearing songs from my mom. She's a good singer. I keep hearing songs from her. And recent 2 weeks, I just, it's like the grief from last year start to well up again. Like recent 2 weeks, almost every day I would think about her and my grandma who brought me up. And I just keep breaking down. Tears. I could be crying like really, like with my heart open. But at the same time, I keep hearing songs internally, like the song that you guys just sing just now. Are you lonesome tonight? It really touches my heart. This morning and also yesterday, I heard the song "You Are Not Alone," like Michael Jackson song. But I know the lyrics. And I also heard another song, "The Greatest Love of All Is Happening to You." And I wonder, and also I feel a lot of buzzing. It's been happening for like at least 2 months already. I feel buzzing at the top of my head, and sometimes my whole body would shiver.
How is
I wonder if that's a spiritual message for me.
Can I ask you a question? Are you meditating?
Yes. Yes, I learned meditation from you, and 2 years ago, I also started a sutra seed with you.
And how's that going?
Not going well, especially recent year.
And are you Are you still depressed?
I feel better because I start to move. When I listen to you talking to other people, right? You remind them to get grounded. So I start to go out, take walks in the nature, and also I started dancing recently.
Oh, dancing would be great for you. Yes. It feels.
So it's helping.
Uh-huh. It feels like you had a loss of self-identity when you quit your job.
Oh, yeah.
You might not have liked what you were doing, or might have been tired of it, but it feels like there was not only did you lose your mother, but you lost another part of yourself.
Yes, I think I really resonate with that because I also have stomach aches.
Are you working yet?
No, I've been. I applied for a few jobs like a couple of months ago, and I went through a bunch of interviews, but never got a final offer.
Yeah,
so
I want to really encourage
again.
you. I really encourage you to go back to work. It would just about solve everything.
Shall I continue the what I originally do, or shall I change path? Because I wonder if
what were you doing before?
It means risk management and banking. So it's in the finance field.
It feels fine, and you feel very qualified at that. You're good at that, right?
Yes, I think so. But the reason, I get really discouraged when I didn't get an offer. I feel
rejected.
Yes, and also I start to wonder if that's the universe telling me I'm supposed to change path.
No, that's your personality speaking. You're actually very valuable. There's a position out there for you. You just have to push a lot harder to get there. I want to really encourage you in that regard. It will really bring you back up again. You're still low, emotionally.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, emotionally, I feel very drained sometimes.
Yes.
And so I get a job, and at the same time, should I continue my spiritual
absolutely.
study?
Sure, you can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I, for some reason, I kind of feel I might be, like life purpose-wise, am I supposed to be a healer of some kind, or am I supposed to just do the corporate job for my life?
I'm not getting an answer to that. I'm not sure that it's been decided yet, or at least I'm not being given an answer.
Okay. So your guidance for me now is to continue what I have been doing.
Before. Once you go back to work, I think things will become much more clear to you. You'll have some clarity.
Oh, that's great to know.
All right.
Even I don't know what it is yet.
No, that's right. But keep us posted. You can let me know on.
Thank you so much.
Let me know through the Soul Family or on Facebook, anywhere where you find me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much for your guidance. And
You're
I love
very
you
welcome.
So much. Bye-bye.
You're very welcome. So we had a lot of excitement today and getting ready for you. We had 2 power outages because of the stormy weather. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Hi, my name's Cardell. I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Hi, Cardell.
Hello,
Hi.
Mrs. King. Well, someone that I've spent a fair bit of time with had a lucid dream about me winning the Powerball. Because I know that lucid dreams aren't to be meant to be taken literally, what's your interpretation of the meaning?
Was the dream that you won?
Yes.
I don't think that has any particular meaning. I think it's, just kind of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
It feels like you had thought about it a bit. Did you buy a ticket?
No, I'm not a rich man, and I do not play the lottery.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and no, I don't, Cardell, I don't think that has any special meaning. I'm sorry to say. All right. But nice to talk to you.
It's all right. I'm fine with not being wealthy. I've made it this far.
All right, you take care.
I'll do my best.
Thank you
And
for
too.
calling. Have they announced the Powerball winner yet? I saw it, I just saw it on television. I guess it's coming soon. Do we have time for another call? Okay. Hi, this is Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi, this is Catherine Wheeler, Omaha, Nebraska.
Hi, Catherine.
I just have a little bit of, I'm going through a kind of a spiritual awakening, and this 11-11-11 really got me going. I don't know if it does anybody else or not, but I have a lot of, I can identify with the numbers. I see them a lot. Just kind of wondering what I should do.
You mean the impending November 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're thinking? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Let me just, not quite connected to you yet. What do you do, Catherine? Do you work?
No, I'm actually disabled.
Uh-huh. And is that a long-standing disability?
Yeah.
A few years or more? Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. And do you live alone?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh. You have a pet?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I have a pit bull.
A what?
A pit bull dog.
A pit bull. Oh, nice.
She's kept me alive.
Uh-huh. I'm not.
I've had a lot of depression.
I'm not
Had a
thinking.
lot of depression and
Uh-huh.
Traumas that I'm trying to work through, so on.
Uh-huh. I'm not picking up any significance of 11-11 from your field.
Really?
No. I think maybe it's feels like fear-based.
I'm sorry?
It feels like it's connected to a fear.
Fear.
Some fear. I don't pick up any significance of it for you. I wouldn't worry about it in any way. I would like to see.
No, it's more like
More like
you'd
what?
like to speak with. Well, my husband passed away 11 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, that's what I'm
we
sensing.
would have been
is-
married 11 years.
Oh.
Well, we would have been married 12 years
Uh-huh.
on the 20th of this month.
Wow.
And I still have a lot of, we were together for 10 years before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
We got married to the 11th year, 11th month.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, he's,
I've had a lot of,
He's still a very good friend of yours.
I know he is.
Yeah.
And I miss him terribly.
I can feel it. Yeah. I'd love for you to have a little more companionship.
Yeah.
Is there some way you can arrange that? Are you in my
grandchildren,
Are you in my soul
my
family?
children. No. I just found you online today.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll tell you what. Did you come in through Facebook?
No, actually through, I don't know what it was. It
Is-
just,
well,
regular YouTube.
YouTube, uh-huh. If you drop me a note in through Facebook or through the front door of my website, I'll reach out and see if we can't give you a little bit of support. You feel a little
That
too,
sounds wonderful.
yeah, it's wintertime. I'm not feeling comfortable for you. I'd love to help you a little bit. Okay?
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
That
and
would be wonderful.
help you get through all of these 11s of November.
Well, I'm fine the rest of the year.
I know, I bet you are. But we still have about 22 days to go or so. So, yeah,
I know.
But give me a way to connect with you, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing from you. You
Bye-bye.
take care.
You too. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Do I have time for one more? I'm out of time? All right. Time to sing a song, though. Always have time for that.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have to sing along with us, okay?
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
When the sun refused to shine, when the sun refused to shine, how I want to be in that number. When the sun refused to shine, now when the stars fall from the sky, and when the stars fall from the sky, hey, I want to be in that number when the stars fall from the sky.
Oh, when the saints go marching in.
Go marching in.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching, saints go marching, saints go marching in. Oh, yeah.
Showing up marching in.
Go Lois. Hey, before I forget, I want to tell you that there's an amazing movie out, a documentary about Yogananda. I just watched it this weekend. I want to tell you it's excellent. You can get it from Gaia. Just go to deborahking.com/Gaia and sign up. Sign up because I have a lot of stuff on Gaia. Okay, so you can not only see this movie about Yogananda, but you can see all my stuff there too. I love Gaia. It's just such a great source of really good entertainment, okay? Educational and yet fun stuff. So deborahking.com/Gaia. And then, not to forget, I have an event coming up. It's a ways off, but the seats are filling fast. It's my bestseller workshop. If you're curious to, if you think you have a book inside of you, you probably want to take a look at my workshop that's early January. I know it sounds like way off, but it's really, I can't take a lot of people in it because I want to be able to focus on you and your book inside of you. So come check it out. It's deborahking.com/bestseller. And we'll be back again, of course, in 2 weeks. Come see us. It's Thanksgiving week. I think we're going to be here on, anybody know the date? November something. November 22nd. All right. Until I see you again, hey, you take care.
1, 2, 3.
Happy days are here again. The skies are above our leer again. So let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days. together.